Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 6.1. So here we're going to make this pawn, and the strategy I'm going to use is to use the front face, although it doesn't really matter too much, front or right face. And then I'm going to draw this profile right here, and a center line going from top to bottom. So actually the center line first and then draw the profile along the side here. And then at the end just revolve it about the center line. Revolve this profile about the center line. It can automatically close off the region, so we'll see that happening. All right, let me go ahead and erase this because we might want to see some of the details there. Let's head over to SolidWorks. So first off, I'm going to draw the center line. Oops, going to get into the front plane and then draw the center line. It looks like from top to bottom it's 38. So there we go. And then start drawing the profile. So from here to here, actually I think I'm going to smart dimension some of these things a little bit later. So I'll just draw something out there. I will smart dimension the arcs right away, so I don't have to worry about those later. And I'll go out and in to switch over to the arc mode. Unfortunately, it makes it tangent. I'm not sure how to deal with that, but aside from going back in and deleting those tangencies. But for now, we'll just leave it in there. And the radius here is 6. So we'll go out some and then make another arc. Other direction. There we go. Okay. 15 for this one. And it goes up a little bit. Then we go to the right. Get another one of these little bumps. There we go. And in a little bit. We got to make sure we don't lock into anything. So I'm trying not to, although I think these blue lines mean it's not necessarily going to be locked. So I'll just click somewhere. If it is locked, we'll have to unlock it, remove the relation. All right, so we want an arc, but we don't want it coming out that way. We want it going this way. And we have 7.5 for this one. Yeah, it looks like this is the one that goes all the way up to the top. We're going to have to lock that in later. Okay, my pawn is falling over here. All right, so let's get rid of some of these relations that we didn't want, like this one right here, this tangency. We don't want that to be tangent. Let's see, up here, there's also another one. We don't want that one to be tangent, so get rid of those relations. Let's go ahead and make this point coincident with this point. Okay, good. I'll move this back over to here, make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, let's see if we have any more unwanted relations here. Looking pretty good. Tangent, tangent. All right, good. One time I had an unwanted relation and I had to fix it and I couldn't figure out what was going on, so just maybe scan through if you draw a profile like this and see if there are any unwanted relations. All right, so let's start smart dimensioning. We have, it's nice to have this center line here because we can, one thing I want to do too is make this arc so that on the top it's perpendicular, and the way to do that is to select this point right here and make it coincident to this center line. There we go. Okay, perfect. So when that happens, when this center of the arc is on the center line, then when you're at the top right here, the arc is going to be perpendicular, perpendicular to this center line. All right, good. So let me move some of these smart dimensions so we can see better. All right, there we go. And this one too. There we go. How many times am I going to say there we go? Okay, so let's go ahead and start smart dimensioning some of these pieces. So this point right here is a distance of 4 from the center line, or if you go across the center line to the other side, the mirror image across the center line, that distance is 8. And the nice thing is you can do that kind of thing when you do have a center line. So I believe that was this point right here. So I'm going to click here, and then when I'm on this side of the center line, it goes all the way across as if you had a mirror image. But if I'm this side, it would just go to the center line. So I want to go all the way across, and that distance is 8. I want to do something similar for this point right here. Go all the way across. Oops, I think I got the wrong one. Oh, did I get the wrong point? Okay. That's the one that should be 13. And then this one here, oops. Sorry. This one down here is the one that should be 8. All right. Sound good? That one's okay? Okay. At this point, we should be able to move, yeah, because we don't have that tangency relation anymore. Alrighty. So let's go ahead, and we got those two. We'll go ahead and make this distance from here up to the top. That should be 12.5. All right, and then let's work on some of these distances down here. Looks like from here to the center line, mirrored across, should be 13. And then from this center point to the center line, mirrored across, should be 18. Okay, and then there's one more thing, which is this little arc right here. It looks like that arc, the farthest right point of that arc, should also like line up here with this center of this arc. And also this farthest right point, you can also view it as being a distance of 9 away from the center line, or 18 to the other mirrored version of that arc. So there's a nice way of handling this. What we can do is smart dimension from this line, and then if you highlight the arc, but hold down shift before you highlight the arc, and then click, then we can get that distance from the center line to the arc, or if we go over to the other side of the center line, we can get the mirrored distance. So that should be 18. Okay, and you can see how this will line up perfectly with the center of this arc. And voila, we're fully defined. There's a little note here, which is I kept trying to make this arc perpendicular to this line, but it turns out you don't even need that. It'll be fully defined anyway without that. I didn't stop and check to see if they actually are perpendicular, but it's not something that you need for this one. Okay, so now what we can do is revolve. It says the sketch is currently open because we haven't technically closed it off. I mean, there's a center line closing it off, but that doesn't really count. So it says a non-thin revolution feature requires a closed sketch. Would you like the sketch to be automatically closed? So this should automatically close it off from the 2 points that are at the end of this profile. And that's what we want. So we want that to be our region that we're rotating around. Okay, great. So it's making this pawn, and we hit enter, and looking good. Okay, so the mass, it says, is, let's see, we're looking for mass, or what are we looking for here? Volume, 5996 cubic millimeters, and we got 5996.2. So we got it. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you're looking for something more professional than all my blunders, look for a YouTube channel called Design With Roozbe. The guy does an awesome job breaking down each practice problem. Take care and keep studying.